we were discussing whether the definition of yichud. If it's yichud מהתורה, any ספק of yichud will be ספק דאורייתא לחומרה. If yichud is מדרבנן, any ספק of yichud will be ספקא דרבנן לכולה. The only one who seems to hold that yichud is דרבנן is the Rambam. Even though the way we learn the Rambam, it is deoraisa, just the definitions are b'derabbanon, but the actual isur is deoraisa. Yet all of the poskim hold that all actual isur yichud, it is mi deoraisa. Therefore, if yichud is mi deoraisa, any safek of yichud will be isur deoraisa. The din of yichud is not limited only to the 18 arayos, will be extended even to any chayve lavin. Any case there will be a lav and isur to be with a woman will be a problem of yichud. That brings a big chidush. A woman that she is a nida. So Hashem Erachem, women who are not as observant, they don't go to the mikveh. That being said, if he's with her in the room, it's becoming a nida, which is a isur deoraita, with a man. So any woman, any yichud, even any yichud with any woman, even if she's single, only a single woman, so if she's married woman, then it's isur midoraita. נכון? If she's single woman, she's probably nida. Because a single woman don't go to the mikveh. Very likely. Single women don't go to the mikveh. And we don't ask if they go, but if they go to the mikveh officially, if a woman said, I'm a single, I want to go to the mikveh, מה אומרים לה? לא, למה? Maybe she wants to do the wrong stuff and she just wants to reduce her to be less guilty. The guilty conscience. She wants to be less, so she goes to the mikveh. So therefore, we don't let a single woman go to the mikveh. So it comes out that most of the cases of yichud become isur yichud deoraisa, because every time the woman is a nida. So if it lead into the yichud, will be over isur deoraita. So it comes out most of the sfekot of yichud will be yichud deoraita. So if so, what's enough giving of the Rabbanan? We're going to see a few cases. If the isur itself is midirabanan, then you can build in it. And I give an example. שתי אנשים עם אישה אחת, מותר או לא? מדאורייתא, איש אחד ואישה אחת אסורים. שתי אנשים ואישה אחת בסד מותר מתי? בכשרים. בפרוצים? לא. We're going to see later in the Shulchan Aruch, there is a מחלוקת between the Maran, the Mechaber, Shulchan Aruch, and Ramo. According to Maran, he learned the sugya that everybody bechezkat prutzim. So you have no heter of two people being with one woman. According to the Ramo, we're going to see he holds that everybody bechezkat ksherim. If everybody bechezkat ksherim, you're allowed to be two men with one woman. Big enough gemine. You're in a realtor going into a house to check the house. She can be a goya, she can be anybody. According to the Rama, mutar, ken? He holds that everybody considered as ksherim. According to the Maran, mutar, lo, he holds everybody considered bechazka prutzim. Yet, this isur of yichud of two people, it becomes isur derabanan, and even according to Maran, it's not isur deoraita, rather, it is isur derabanan. So, betzeruf, another heter, another leniency, another way, you're going to be able to say, since it's derabanan, another derabanan, I'm going to be lenient on him. When you're going to go weiter, we're going to see differences of cases that you need tzerufim. On the oraita, you don't need tzeruf to be lenient. On the rabbanon, you can use tzeruf. So whenever we upscale it to be downscale, you can't. Yeah, tzeruf doesn't hold. No, I tell you what tzeruf. Sometimes the oraita tzeruf, you have a very rare posek who's making. So we're learning now officially Igros Moshe, nachon? Igros Moshe is the most lenient posek regarding Ilchot Yichud. To the extent that most of the Ilchot Yichud books saying Asur v'yesh mekilim. If they say yesh mekilim, it means Igros Moshe, Moshe Feinstein. Now, we discussed in the past, the whole concept of Yichud is dangerous concept. Lama? Because Yichud can lead into Avera. So as much as you want to be lenient like the Igros Moshe, on the other end, you have to be concerned not to get into Avera. So the leniencies affect from the situation, what's going on, what's the matter. For example, we're learning that a brother not allowed to be mitached with a sister באופן קבוע, נכון? If it's for a medical reason, what's the deal? So
That's not kavua. Oh, you're saying like she's taking care of him?
Yeah, she needs, or vice versa. So I didn't give you the clear instructions, and we didn't print out the right pages for today. So everything that was printed out is the wrong pages, my fault. So that will be for tomorrow. But what's the issue of a brother and a sister? So there is a machlokes between the achronim. Most of the achronim hold a brother and a sister the problem. If they live temporary, there is no attraction. People you grew up with, that's a general concept, we'll talk about it later. People you grew up with, you have less attraction to. Most of the times, not definitely. Cousins, for example, people are not attractive to their cousins as we grew up with. People who are far away from you, you're attracted much more. So therefore, a man who lives with his sister is not attracted to her sister. I set up a shiur for a guy. Everything worked perfect. And, no, I didn't set up shiur, I'm sorry, somebody else. And he came to talk to me and said, Rebbe, I have a problem. She looks exactly like my sister. So she said, I can't.
It's weird.
Huh?
It's weird for him.
Yeah, it's weird for him. Whatever, she was officially attractive, but for him, nothing attractive. She looked like my sister. Usually, I can ask Eliyahu to testify, sisters are annoying, נכון? Especially the other ones. So, sisters,
No.
Sisters, at the beginning, they're so annoying. Later, when you grow up, you have good memories, I remember. But while you live with your sister, so you don't attract to somebody who annoyed you. That's usually how people perceive. So a sister is not something attractive. So if somebody, therefore, you're allowed to be temporary with a sister. We're going to see, in general, most of the poskim hold for 30 days. Up to 30 days, it's fine. But if it's permanent, that's going to be a problem, נכון? Aval, what's the problem? So the machloket, most of the poskim hold that you're going to live with her for a permanent time, it will be, you're going to become attractive to her. Because if you live with a woman the whole time together, that will be, maybe to a certain extent, attractive. Says Reb Moshe, no, that's not the issue. A man is never going to be attractive to his sister even if they live together. And maybe the opposite even, that's my svore. You're used to seeing her, okay, no more, nothing special about her. So the only problem, says Reb Moshe, by sister, it's mipnei chashad, which means people who see you live with your sister like, what's going on over there? You know, this guy lived with his sister for a few years, you never know. But I heard it about somebody who lived with his mother. Somebody said you never know. So it's more of a chashad. Somebody will suspect that something going on. It's not an essential problem. Comes out. If the sisters and brothers need each other, do you have and they need to live permanent for medical reasons, is that okay or not? So according to most of the poskim, would be a problem, Lama? Because with time she become attractive. According to Reb Moshe, what's the problem of a sister? Chashad. People see it for medical reasons. They're going to have chashad? No. So here, would you be makel or lenient? It all depends. If the sister has a mother who can live with her, tell mother, live with her, why are you lenient? But if she has no choice, I met a sister and a brother, the age of 70 and up, both singles, miskenim. They need to support each other. On such a case, you got to move into the leniency of Reb Moshe and to be more lenient on them. So this is where leniency takes place. You got to use the circumstances with the leniencies. So we spoke yesterday about two brothers and a sister living together. What's the whole problem? Maybe one will be attractive. So we said when there are two brothers and one sister, most of the poskim hold, and that's supposed to be also for the Rav Moshe, most of the poskim hold that two brothers and a sister, it's not a problem. Big chidush. Because sometime, we had a story here in the community. We had two brothers and a sister who lived together. So some of the rabbanim gave them a hard time. They said Rabbi Ejri knew about it, he didn't say anything. No, it's asur. They were wrong. Anyway, like I said yesterday, I gave them a special gdarim. I said this. Boundaries. The sister must live in the master bedroom. One of the brothers got so upset. And then she should not go out of her bedroom with pajamas. She always dresses when she comes out of her bedroom. Because when people feel too casual, this is where issues begins. And he doesn't use the same shower. It's two separate places. And that, I just put it in an extra fence. But Be'emet Medina, and that's also another case. Medina, two brothers and a sister, it's okay or not? Yes, it's okay. Lo choshishim. Period. But if you can put another fence just to make sure that things wouldn't happen, should feel comfortable with her, then you should put the fence. But this is where aloche, okay, on that case, if they're going to live separate, each one needs to pay full rent. the rabbi, one of the rabbis said, they have to live separate. I'm like, okay, are you paying the rent? No, let me see. Okay, so you want to be machmir on them and they paying the rent when they cannot barely make the payment? Halacha is halacha, but you have many poskim are maker. So it's easy to be machmir when it comes to somebody else, but always you have to be, when it comes to you, you got to take it into your own consideration where it's going to be a problem or not. So the other element we spoke, and I want to highlight another point on it.
You have a problem with brother and sister if they're ksherim or prutzim?
Oh, very good. If the brother and sister ksherim and prutzim, that's excellent. So how do you define ksherim and prutzim? That's also Rav Moshe later. So in Seif Samechei, all of the Rav Moshe around, all of the heterim you have in one Seif almost, in one Siman, Seif Samechei. So if you don't mind, print it and make a booklet out of Rav Moshe.
Yeah.
And then we can, throughout the whole Siman, how do you define ksherim and prutzim? Parutz, what parutz means? So.
History. There's a history, a reputation.
Oh, excellent. So according to most of the poskim, כמו שהרב שרון אמר, parutz means our history. Normal person, even if he's not shomer Shabbat, don't think because this is not shomer Shabbos. I had once a problem that somebody invited me over for Shabbos, and the woman didn't have kisui rosh. It wasn't me, it was somebody else. I think I was in the middle of the story. The woman didn't have kisui rosh. So with a husband and wife, and the husband said, no, we're not going to them. How can I eat their salad if she has no kisui rosh, she doesn't cover her, she's over on halacha in the Torah? Can you eat by somebody like that? What's the logic, Rabbi Yisrael? The fact that it says hard time with some people have different nisyonis in different temptations. For a woman who lives in society, they don't cover their hair. For her to cover is like all the Baalot Tshuva ladies saying.
My friend's wife doesn't cover her. You'll eat from her kitchen.
Right.
She's so machmir.
But no, whatever. But I have to check deeper. Yeah, that's true. I was eating by your mother, and she didn't. Yeah, I did by your mother. She was makpid any iota better than me. But and again, not covering. Yeah, she was like the Ashkenazi chumras. So, but
Rabbi Simon was the rabbi.
what? Rabbi Simon, you're right.
Are you kidding me? I get questions from her every day.
No, his mom, she was like, tzadeket. But cover hair was hard. It's a hard nisayon. So the fact that somebody is over in one halacha doesn't mean he's a goy. He's still a frum, observant Jew. Just this halacha, he has time. I'm sorry to say, but sometimes we also over in halachot. Okay? We talk לשון הרע במסתק, and we don't make pidon brachot, and and do our. They said, yeah. So are we going? No. So the same way we look at it, you look at it major. For you, it's hard not to take lashon hara. For her, it's hard not to cover her hair, and therefore it's okay to do. So therefore, if somebody is not frum, it's okay. You can still, you don't define them as a parutz. Now, the deeper level of definition of parutz, and that's nafkamina 1 or 2. Parutz means that why two people, according to the Ramo, it's fine. Because one will be embarrassed from his friend to do the avera next to him. So, if so, what's the definition of parutz? If you're comfortable to do the avera next to his friend. If he's not reaching that level, he's not going to be parutz. So, into your question, I forgot what was the question?
Sisters and brothers with ksherim.
Sister and brother, ksherim or prutzim. So, classic sister and brothers defined as ksherim. If you know that one of the brothers has issues, and he's into it too much, and you know what, I'm sorry to say, but let's talk. If you watch porno, he's a parut, okay? Because that shows that that's what his mind is about. The whole idea is that you have one step to prevent you from the avera. But if a guy leaves the averot, this is what he watch all day, then you should have this problem. And I'm sorry to say, but if people who have access to all of the social media, and they see the non-appropriate pictures, and they don't cover it, they don't put boundaries. No, lechatchila shouldn't have it. But I'm saying in case, if things pop up and you see you have no problem and you like it, and chas v'shalom, then you know you are parut. You gotta know who you are, So you understand, then you don't have the heter together. So the whole heter, living brothers and a sister, not by prutzim. As soon as we reach people are paruts, we have the problem. What about zaken and chole? So we medayik in the Shulchan Aruch. The Shulchan Aruch says zkena, ben zkena, ben yalda. So we said by zkena, it's always a problem. Lama? because skena, there is always option to do bia with skena. So she can be the sickest person ever, and yet it should be a problem. The problem is zaken. So a zaken, it's called tashash, אין לו כוח, כוח גברה. אין לו כוח, he doesn't have the man כוח, and he cannot be physically with a woman. So I saw some poskim brings that sometimes when the Yetzer Hara comes and it's so big, he can really לעורר אותו, to wake him back, and can be that. So that should be all depends on the circumstances. If you see that he's one leg in Olam Haba, one leg in Olam Hazeh, then there is no hope. The
third
guy.
leg probably doesn't work.
Huh?
The third leg probably doesn't work.
Yeah, the third leg. שתהיה בריא. So in such a case, then you know that things cannot happen, because I mean, if the guy, in Eretz Israel you see it coming. You see in America you barely see guys on a wheelchair. They're all sending them to nursing home. In Eretz Israel, or they all go to Eretz Israel. In Eretz Israel, you see a lot of wheelchairs with a Philippine next to him, bring him to tefillah, וזה. If you have a woman to take care of him. So if sometimes you see the guy, כאילו, ממש שמרחם, באמת one leg out, then you have no issue. And the guy is not even functioning, not even aware what's going on, then that's not an issue. A guy is fully awake and aware and very old. I know he's over here, Hashem Erachim, was 96 years old. And the cleaning lady took care of him. 96-year-old. So nobody can say he has guarantee for... Nobody says he has guarantee. Okay, everything will be fine. So it all depends really on the circumstances. But if you see the guy is really mamash out of it, then you can be lenient, assuming that he's going to be fine. But this leniency, again, applies only by men. By women, there is no heter for men to take care of a woman. Because at any time it can be a problem. Okay?
2 weeks ago in Shul, they asked a question from Rabbi Zilberstein about a woman who's old and has a terminal disease, and her doctor, can he come and visit her because of Yichud?
Oh.
And what did Rabbi Zilberstein say? That no. Why? Ki en apotropos la'arayot, and also that his chishuv is, if I'm going to go with her, I'm going to die because of the disease. Mm-hmm. And if I do go with her, they don't catch me, I'm going to die from Shamayim. So both ways it was a suicide mission for him, and he says that Yitzhak convinces a person to do it as well. So
that's a big chidush, because what was printed here by mistake address your point. So on Samech Gimel, if you see, not on Samechei, Samechei Aleph, it's talk about going to be checked by a doctor.
Right, a woman going to be checked by
a woman going to be checked by a doctor. So the Ikos Moshe discussed how can women just go, and usually the room has to be closed when a woman got to be, and a woman checking a doctor, she's not dressed. So he's saying that
being checked by a doctor.
By a doctor. So he said that you need to have at least a step or two that he has what to lose. So number one, if there is anybody around, that should be already...
Use his license.
He can use his license, that should be a problem. So back to, he doesn't losing license, it's not enough for him. Because if the doctor is the only one in the room, then nobody can testify. So maybe you're right, but only if somebody can testify, then he can lose his license, and then it's a problem. It's funny, somebody told me of a OBGYN who lost his license because of that. And the guy, somebody watched. You need somebody to testify in order to. So if you have somebody else over there, then really it's a problem.
I think the point is just how strong is the Yitzhak.
Right. But I just want to say, just off record, whatever Psakim Rabbi Zilberstein, not that it's his approach. Meaning, many poskim will hold different. When you see,
in the doctor's office, he's talking where he goes
in the house, but those elements that he brought can be, according to Rabbi Moshe, fine again. But whatever psakim of Rav Zilberstein on his farim are not definite psakim. That's his approach to the circumstances.
It doesn't apply to everything.
Yeah, being described. My father, Zichrono Livracha, never connected to the svarot of. I'm saying it just for the guys halacha lemaaseh. Not all of the poskim agree with Rav Zilberstein. It's good as a conversation in shul.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Those shalot again. I know. I used to have shiur 3 years. Bring one question from Rav Zilberstein. נכון? No, so I used to give a shiur on Monday. I had guys who left the Goya because of that. They started keeping kosher. Like somebody came to me and said, Rabbi Adrian, I'm frum because of you. I didn't know the guy. You know, people that put so much effort are not frum. This guy I never knew. I'm frum because of you. So I'm like, why? He said, I was in a shiur by Monday. Like, okay. My shiurim don't make people frum. You know my shiurim. You know, I never tell anybody, Rabbi Isai, Chazku, you're going to see a lot of Yeshuot, you're going to start making money. I'm not good at it. So I said, well, how can my shiur made you frum? So he said, you remember you were asking a question about this and that. I'm like, okay, the question sounds familiar. Because any question of Rav Zilberstein, I repeated several times. And when I heard the shiur, I understood that Judaism is not about to push you. It's about the intelligence of it. He just heard the discussion, and that's what made him frum. So it's nothing to do with me, it's Rav Zilberstein. But in general, that's a proof that Ma'or, the light of the Torah, bring people back into Torah. You don't need to push. If you need to push, so you're selling the wrong merchandise. You know, if a salesman will push you, you know, we have if you sign in the next 24 hours, you're gonna get this quote. Later, we don't have because it's the end of the month promotion, and it's okay with you at the beginning of the month. This is the end of the month promotion. If you don't sign now, forget it. You know, you're trying to push you to sell you garbage. But if you are standing for yourself, you don't let people push you. So that's just to address this point. Weiter. We are in, I want to continue Aloha Bet in the Shulchan Aruch. We're in Aloha Aleph, Aloha Bet. By the way, I was just a little bit spending time because you didn't have the Shulchan Aruch, the Igros Moshe. Tomorrow we will not review. כשירה מעשה אמנון ותמר, של שולחן ערוך, גזר דוד ובית דינו על ייחוד פנויה. David and Benido made a גזרה not to be together with פנויה. ואף על פי שאינה ערווה, even though being with her it's not ערווה, בכלל ייחוד עריות היא. So it comes out, Rabbi Isai, that now we just said, today, back then, פנויה used to go to the mikveh, periodically. But today the פנויה, yeah, better. Today, היה טהרות כל הזמן. לא לגעת בטהרות, to eat. But today, they don't go, that she becomes איסור דאורייתא because of נידה. ושמאי והלל גזרו על ייחוד גויה, באמת הגזרה בגויה. נמצא, כל המתייחד עם אישה שאסור להתייחד עימה, anybody has ייחוד with a woman, not allowed to ייחוד with, בין ישראלית, בין גויה, מתקים את שניהם, מכת מרדות האיש והאישה. Wait, the next page. יש קויה, כבר אמרתי. מכת מרדות האיש והאישה, ומכריזים עליהם. So both of them are going to get מכת מרדות, the man and the woman, and you will announce on them. So according to, so it's very clear that Stam will be מכריז on the man and the woman. And then, says the Ramo, ודווקא בידוע שנתייחד עמה, only if you know there was an actual ייחוד. אבל היא אינה נאמנת עליו. But she is not נאמנת to say that he slept with her. ואפילו בעד אחד. No, I'm sorry, meaning is, just to clarify. He said, if ידוע שנתייחד, then they're going to get מלכות. But he's not going to assert them, even if she said he slept with me, or עד אחד testified that she slept, אינו נאמן. We cannot have one witness to testify or to change the status of a person. ומכל מקום, נראה, meaning, on a case, for example, אחד השאלות, if it was an אשת איש, who said that this man slept with me. So, the halacha lemaise, if somebody slept with אשת איש, even if after she got divorced, he's not allowed to marry her. So if she said, he slept with me, we don't believe her, and she cannot osser him on her. And if he wants to get married, he can remarry. In general, we spoke in the past, I think, that any woman who claimed that she slept with somebody else, she's not נאמנת. למה? חיישינן שמה נתנה עיניה באחר. Maybe she'll look on somebody else she wants to be with, and therefore she's claiming that she's a surah to her husband because she wants to get out of her husband. That's why we don't believe in general a woman. Now, the Maran concludes, חוץ מאשת איש, שאף על פי שאסור להתייחד עמה, אם נתייחד, אין לוקים. So look, the לשון of Maran, אשת איש אינה allowed to have ייחוד, if he had ייחוד, אין לוקים. מי לא לוקה? את הלשון, שניהם. שלא להוציא לעז עליה, שזינתה ונמצא מוציא לעז על בניה, שהם ממזרים. Shouldn't have לעז on her, she was mezana, and then people are going to say that her children are mamzerim.
What's the reason for the man?
What about him? So according to Maran, he doesn't get malkut. Says the chelkas. זה חלקת בחויקת או בשמואל? חלקת מחוקק, כן. מכים את שניהם מכת מרדות, לוקון דחלקת מחוקק. בטור כתב מלכין אותו. לא, זה סק... כן, בטור כתב מלכין אותו, אבל היא לא נפסלה אם נתייחדה עם הפוסל בביאתו. So according to the two, מלכים דווקא אותו ולא אותה. Why? Remember, there were two ways to learn Gemara Malkin al Yichud. One way to learn that Malkin al Yichud in any single woman, but by Eshet Ish we are not Malke. The other one to learn that Malkin al Yichud, according to Mar Zutra, where's the Gemara? According to Mar Zutra, Kiddushin, anybody has Kiddushin? So the אמרה מלכין לייחוד ואין אוסרים על הייחוד. אמר רבה שלי להמון אלה בייחוד פנייה, אבל בייחוד אשת איש לא, שלא תהיה מוציא לעז על בניה. So according to Rav, we do malkut על הייחוד. Rabashi says only by pnuya, not by אשת איש. Mar Zutra malki umachiz. Rav Zura gave malkot and he announced that he gave malkot. So there are two ways to learn Mar Zutra. Either okay. So either so there one way to learn Mar Zutra, that either Mar Zutra is talking about by pnuya lealkot velachiz, or Mar Zutra is talking about Eshet Ish. So the two learn Malkim Oto, meaning he learns that Malkim Oto. We did the Tosfot over here.
Yeah.
So according to Tosfot, the Malkin אותו, פרש הקונטרה זה מהרי בפנויה דאחי מוקלה בסמוך, וכאשר ידדים קטני, זה רד דסבן נדמרי בפנויה ולא אוסרה לכהן משום זונה. No, so that's not the פשט on Tosfot, יש לומד על מה עושים. Oh no, I'm sorry. No, it is. So according to the way the Maran brings, Malkin Ota velo osrin Ota. Malkin Ota mishum yichud, velo osrim Ota mishum maybe she's asura now lekohen because she slept with another man. Like Tosfos says, en osrim mishum yichud. But איפה the Malkin? One second. The Oto one.
Mar Zutra?
Mar
Zutra?
Okay.
I think the Gra brings it down.
The Bra brings it? אחת מרדות. Oh no, מלכין אותו באשת איש. It's a בייס שמואל ו'. בייס שמואל, הנה סעיף קטן ו', אין לוקים, משמע דאין לוקים אותו. גם היא כן אין מלכין. So according to the Beis Shmuel, when the Maran says, "Ba'eshet ish en malkin," mashma plural, both of them. Baseder Beis Shmuel, ubach medayek de malkin oto, ve'en alkim ota mishum laz al banea. So according to the Bach, the malkot will be, she's going to get malkot because of laz. Says the Bach, he will get malkot. Lama? Any laz on him? Nobody knows which woman he slept with. So it's machloket. Lefi Maran, if you're going to give him malkot, what's going to be the rumor in the city? Who did he sleep with? And they're going to realize he slept with that woman. Therefore, if Malkin Oto will be Laz, will be rumor also on her. But according to the Bach that the Beis Shmuel brings, Malkin Davka, her we not Malke, but Oto, Malkin, because it was with a woman. Are we Choshesh? People are going to say, maybe that's the woman? That's not far. Since people say she didn't get Malkot, people are not going to assert that woman. So up to here, the Malkot. I need you tomorrow to go weiter in Shulchan Aruch, Mishto Mishamarto. We'll do Gimel and Daled and start the...
The whole...
the Igros Moshe. And then we have Shiur on it.